The door's open. Come in.
I'm getting sick and tired of getting treated like a second-class citizen every time I go downtown. As I was walking in the Thomas Gentry real estate office earlier today, I overheard a white man saying to another man, "Well, look at that uppity nigger. Shouldn't he be out shining shoes or something?" And they both laughed. I'm telling you, girlie, if Gentry had not promptly intervened, I'd have punched that man straight in his mouth.
Stratford, you should never let that type of ignorance make you so upset that you would irreversibly risk your freedom. Also, I heard about you beating that young white delivery man a few months back. You were extremely lucky he'd have run off and tell the mob. You've got to be careful around these parts. They don't take too kindly.
That delivery man
deserves you and me standing our ground.
That delivery man deserved everything that I gave him. And he was extremely lucky those guys pulled me off when I did all right. I hear you, girl. But I will never sit back and be disrespected by any man, no matter his color. Now, that's why it's so important for us to have our own business district so we don't have to go on that side of the tracks for anything.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. And that's why I called this meeting here today. Do you think I don't get fed up with the stares and comments when I go downtown? Well, I do. But I can't allow their bitterness to make me act irrational and play into the image of an untamed animal that they believe we are. We must fight back with our minds and not with our emotions. Now, calm down, Stratford. The other gentlemen will be here soon.
Calm down. Tell me to calm down. I'll calm down. Come in. Welcome, welcome. It's good to see you.
Good evening, gentlemen. As you are all aware, there are large amounts of land available for purchase north of the Frisco tracks. J.B. Stratford and I would like to start a black business district, and we need everyone in this room to purchase multiple lots of land and only sell to black entrepreneurs.
Yes, I believe we have the best chance for success. If we come together and support each other's businesses collectively, we have to create jobs for our community and schools for our children. Our children have the second lowest black illiteracy rate of any county in the state, and more than 3/4 of our school-age children attend school. So it's imperative that we give them a better place to learn.
I agree with you. Education is very important, and if this will enable funding towards building a school, I definitely will be a part of purchasing land.
All right.
I have a few questions. Do you have any prospects for us to sell this land to? Are there any qualifications on who can purchase this land from us? And are we able to individually decide how much to sell our land for?
We do have a few prospects lined up. Also, E.P. McGave's newspaper has been traveling all across the South, beckoning blacks to migrate to Tulsa. He's already established at least 29 black towns across Oklahoma.
To answer your second question, there is no qualification process. As long as they have the money to purchase the land, they can have it. And as far as your third question is concerned, our primary objective is to create more black businesses so that our money circulate around our community. We're not focused on making a big profit from selling the land.
Yes, gentlemen. Instead, we're focusing on building a community, cultivating a new business district that is self-sufficient for the needs of the community, a community that allows us to take pride in our culture and allows us to profit off of our abilities, a community that is not separate but equal, but just equal.
You make a great point, especially by having our money circulating within our own community. I'm so tired of having to purchase items from the back door when I'm spending the same amount of money and sometimes even more than anyone else.
Yep.
I'm also discontent with the fact that my daughter is unable to try her shoes on before I buy them. And moreover, the fact that my wife and I are unable to sit down and eat at any restaurants downtown. We're the clothing stores for our people in Tulsa. But where are the diners for our people in Tulsa?
There aren't any of those places where our people are made to feel comfortable here in Tulsa.
Not yet.
I didn't realize that y'all weren't able to try on your items before purchasing, and or you're not able to dine out anywhere in Tulsa. I never understood why they would pass a law that separates people because of the color of their skin. You all should be treated as equals.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. But we're not being treated as equals, especially when we are purchasing the same items for the same amount of money and forced to pick it up from the back door. But we can change that feeling of inferiority tonight by coming together and buying the deeds for the land. Now inside these papers right here, on these papers here, you will find the list of the lots that we need you to buy.
Everything looks good here.
Okay, gentlemen, so do we have a deal?
Have a deal?
Deal.
All right, that's what I like to hear. Good evening, everyone. And thanks for attending the meeting here today. I want you all to close your eyes for a moment and open your minds. Now, imagine walking down the street filled with various businesses that are welcoming you into their building. As you look to one side, you see a hotel, a bank, and a theater. And on the other side, you see a grocery store, a cafe, and a juke joint. Now, imagine every business you see on the street being black-owned, an all-black business district where you see beautiful, ebony skin, trying on dresses and shoes in a black boutique. Now, imagine bright lights illuminating the streets, displaying black success and black revenue circulating around our community from hand to hand. Independent, intelligent, and resilient people coming together, no longer made to feel like an inferior race, but instead embracing our various entrepreneurial and ambitious attributes. Free from the downward stare, free from the coward remarks, taking control of our endless possibilities of economic growth that has been roaming around in silence. Now, open your eyes. It's hard to face our current reality. It's hard to comprehend our different adversities. But the beauty of today is that we can change and shape our future right now. All we have to do is be willing to stand together and be determined to build our success. Now, each of us possesses a gift, talent, or ability that can help form a community. The question remains, are you willing to step out on faith and make your gift resourceful? If you are, sign up to start our black business district today. Girlie has the paperwork that needs to be signed.
All right. Just come on up, sign your name, tell us what type of business you plan to start.
All right, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Well, my name is Mabel Little, and I'm from Bowling. Now, I've always been good with my hands, and I'm able to create a hairstyle like nobody's business. Now, you know how important it is for you to look good, but for your hair to look even better. Well, I came here to Tulsa with a dream and a plan to start my own hair salon.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Welcome, welcome.
My name is Presley Little. Cooking is what I do.
All right.
You see, the recipe started years ago right in my kitchen, along with the best fried chicken this side of Oklahoma has ever tasted. So I'm gonna open up my own restaurant.
That's what I'm talking about. We need
All
that.
right.
We need
Throw some milk next, please.
Who we got next?
The name is John Williams. I have successfully taught myself how to work on automobiles from start to finish. I'm the only mechanic in town, so I'm gonna open up a mechanic shop.
All right, perfect, perfect.
Thank you, thank you.
Right, let's see who we got next. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
always dreamt of walking into a black-owned movie theater. Being able to see movies that our people want to see. With actors like Bob Cole, Greg Walker, Burt Williams. Being able to enjoy the company of our people. And us being able to sit wherever we please.
Yes.
My name is Lula Williams, and I will be opening the theater with my husband, John.
All right.
My cafe is only the start of things to come. I also plan on opening a grocery store.
Tell him.
As long as we pull together, our dreams can become a reality.
Come on.
Yeah, say that.
This is only the beginning of our legacy.
All right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. And thank you all for coming. Thank you all for coming.
But John, I gotta come down and get my coffee.
Sure.
All right, so we got
As long as you got me confused.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so
Pinned up for you.
Come down there.
So we got the
catch us
theater
some-
that's on the board. Well, girlie. It's a great place you have here. It's only been a few years since our meeting, and I must say everything is coming together quite well. We got a school, we got 3 grocery stores, a bank, a newspaper, 2 theaters, 2 physicians, a lawyer, and that's just to name a few.
Thanks, Stratford. I am so elated to see the progression of our community. By the way, I know you're excited about your hotel's new grand opening.
You better believe it.
It's been talks around town that it's the world's best Negro hotel in all of the USA. I also hear that you're gonna allow Booker T to hold their first prom there.
Every brick represents my blood. The cement symbolizes my sweat.
Yes.
And the plywood conveys my tears that went into building my hotel. All the long nights and the many years of saving, knowing that in the end I would have something marvelous and extraordinary that I could attach my name to. Something I could leave for my family to be proud to have. A stamp in this world of great achievement, a legacy, to carry on from generation to generation. There was a lot of thought put into the design, the material, and location. Also, that's why I want Booker T High School to have their prom at my hotel. I want my people to look at my building and know that as a culture, we can fulfill anything that we set our minds to accomplish. And the next time someone says that our people are worthless, to be able to look at my building and know that we're more than worthy, that we're able to do what any other race is able to do, and better than they could. Because regardless of what they say, we're not only equal, we're extraordinary. We're able to withstand unfair laws, ridicule, and from the judicial system. And through all the adversity, we still thrive, and we still progress, and we still maintain the ability to increase our wealth. You see, I feel that you never know your true potential until you take a risk, push your possibilities.
Those are great words, and many of us share the same regard. By the way, how's Simon Berry coming along with his new taxi cab service?
He's doing, he's doing quite well. I was at his house the other day catching up, and he told me that he started a bus line.
A bus line through North Tulsa?
Yes, a bus line running through North and South Tulsa. He also told me that him and James Northington had started a charter plane service. Since they are the only pilots in town, that means 2 black pilots in Tulsa. Man, that's powerful.
Well, if he ever decide to land that plane by the Dreamland Theater, tell him the popcorn butter is on me.
I know that's right. Only the butter, John.
Only the But no, seriously, we're doing very well in Greenwood. My mechanic shop is booming, and the confectionery stayed full of adventurous young people. My wife and I are renting out rooms after rooms left and right at our commercial property, and my son is receiving the best education for Booker T High. We are truly blessed.
Yes, sir. I heard that principal down there at Booker T ain't no joke either. I think his name is E.W. Woods.
Yeah, Woods is the real deal, man. Got a bachelor's degree from Russ College and a master's from Kansas State. Bill said he's always telling them, you're as good as 99% of all people.
And better than the rest.
Oh, and I could not forget about Miss Lola Sims. Her dedication to teaching our youth has truly been outstanding.
I'm glad to hear the education system is improving. It's hard to believe one drives south of the tracks and racism hits you right in the face like a number 8 train. Hey, did you guys hear about Roy Belton?
I heard a little something.
Yeah, I did. I can't believe they lynched a white man. Now, if they do that to their own kind, there's no telling what they would do to us. It ain't safe on the other side of those tracks. Look, I'm just glad we have all the resources we need over here, so we don't gotta be bothered with that hatred viewing on the other side.
I worked all day on black and white cars, so I get it from both sides. And I could tell there's some serious tension brewing on the other side of the tracks.
You may be right, Stratford, but I intend to keep prospering on this side of the Frisco tracks. As long as we keep growing our businesses, we should be all right. We should be okay.
Can we add a yes sir master to that and girl it fit right back into the old South?
Well, indeed, I do not wish to be portrayed as an Uncle Tom.
Well, indeed, girly, indeed. He was the one back in the day following right on behind Master, talking about, now you folk don't gonna make in trouble with good old Master now.
Girlie, he was just messing around. Presley, leave Girlie alone before he put us out his cafe. Next thing you know, we be picking up our food from the back door.
Oh, come on, girl. We
Y'all
just
didn't
messing
rent
with you.
him out the back. Go check on him.
You know how Girlie is.
Hey, John, have you seen Sam and Lucy Mackey's house?
Yeah, I saw the house the other day. And I can tell you, it's one of the finest homes in Tulsa. And of course, Lula saw it and fell in love, so we look like we rebuilding a new house.
Stratford, why is Girlie acting so soft as cotton? It was only a joke.
Well, you know how he can get sometimes.
I know. He just needs to loosen that tie and relax a
We're
little.
gonna spit in our food. Yeah.
Oh, Stratford, I never got a chance to congratulate you when you went down at the Osceola County Courthouse. Yeah, man, it was truly amazing how you won a case over Jim Crow laws.
It was a minor victory in a major injustice incident. My rights had been violated, not to mention false imprisonment and malicious prosecution.
I agree, but at any rate, any victory for our people is something to be very proud of.
That's right.
I couldn't believe you sued the whole Midland Valley Railroad.
Well, I did that to shine a light on the many loopholes they continue to dig into Jim Crow laws.
Well, they would have been wanting you to represent them. And Presley would have been the first one. Ain't it right, Presley?
Well, John, I thought you would have been the first one, but I definitely been down there first to state my claim.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, fellas, I got to get going. I got to go grab some stuff down at the grocery store.
I am too. I gotta get going and work on these cars.
John Acosta.
Let me get out of here before Girlie get back.
I believe your check been clear. That's why I was making a sign.
Have you seen what those niggas have built over there?
Yes, we've all noticed they've been quite busy over there, putting up building after building.
Well, I don't know who they think they are,
Yeah,
but they need to know their place.
that's right.
This is a white man's town, and they only need to be working for us and under us.
Well, I say as long as they're building their businesses and grocery stores over there, we don't have to worry about them raising a ruckus over here.
That's true, Judge. They just need to keep their black asses on that side of the track.
I seen one of them niggas coming to town dressed in a tailor-made suit. Where did that uppity nigga get those clothes from?
See, no, that's what I'm talking about. I don't want them thinking they can make more money than us, even though I don't think it's possible for a nigger to be richer than a white man. Besides, any money they make will probably be spent on booze and women anyway.
Yeah, Johnny said one of his boys went over there, and that ruckus jazz music was unruly and loud, but the fights between them niggers was even louder.
I say we just let them kill each other off.
Well, that sounds good, but it might take too long. We need to be coming up with a plan soon, gentlemen.
Why is it that me and Tommy are walking over here while those shiftless niggas are driving around in these fancy cars? Man, ever since me and Tommy came back from the war 8 months ago, we haven't been able to find jobs. And then to see those blackies working on our cars and them owning businesses, I just don't understand it. I mean, who do they think they are? And then they have the nerve to show up on Memorial Day to get in our parades. Now, they may have fought in the war, but we're not at war anymore. For them to think they deserve recognition is blasphemy. I'll tell you, blasphemy.
Amen, brother.
And then to hear those niggas in those juke joints drinking chalk beer and partying all night long, Man, it just pisses me off.
You know, Thomas Dixon said it best in the book The Klansman. For a thick-lit, spindle-shaped Negro, exuding that nauseous animal odor, shouting in derision over the hearths and homes of men and women, is an atrocity too monstrous for belief.
Well, I don't know about all them fancy words. But if those niggas think that they're gonna rule Tulsa, they got another thing coming. Ever since I came back from the war, I've been waiting for another good fight.
Well, I have to say that as long as they're not bothering my family or my business, leave them be. Besides, they only make up about 10% of the population anyhow.
Yeah, I think they'll continue to be drunken cowards. And their ignorances will destroy their businesses, and when they're all broke, they'll all leave Tulsa like cowardly dogs with their tails between their legs.
Well, we'll just see how long this little Africa will be around. But if it interferes with my business, I'm gonna burn it down myself.
That's good.
Y'all remember that Tulsa Talk party 3 years ago?
Of course.
That was good times, man. We tortured those IWW workers really good, and we whipped them, and then poured hot tar and feathers on their bodies, and bark, 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 they went clucking away into the Osage Hills.
You know, I think I did read about that. Were any of them Negroes?
No. But they were as close to a nigger as someone could get.
That's right.
They were unpatriotic white men who didn't believe in our country's beliefs. Mm-hmm. They thought that a nigger should be equal to a white man. Can you believe that? A nigger equal to a white man? They needed to be taught a lesson just like that 19-year-old coward Roy Belton. An example of what would happen if any of them niggas got any thoughts of equality.
That's right.
I think I did read something in your paper about that. Tell me a little more about this Mr. Belton.
Well, we went into that courthouse and we disarmed that sheriff, and we drugged that coward Roy Belton down the steps and put him in the cab, and we hung him right there where he killed our pal, Homer Nidell.
We need to be keeping an eye out there over in Niggertown, just in case the lowest thing walking on 2 legs decide to try and take over. And where my office is, I can see them. And if they're planning something, I'll be the first to report it in my paper.
Oh, to the weeping heart of Tulsa, to the giant blaze gleaming across the morning sky, black smoke engulfing clouds full of hate, the cries of the injustice piercing throughout the land, stolen treasures embraced by sinners' hands. The moans, the groans, the uncompromising tones of the misused, abused, conflicted, and confused indigenous people of color, now being driven out of their homes in fear, forced to walk on their own trail of tears when years of sweat and hard work has disappeared after only one night. That night that has dimmed our lights and slaughtered our rights, that has damaged dreams that were held on so tight that we may give up in surrender, give up without volition, singing out our petitions that were met by sunlight scorching down our necks. Marched on past piles of bodies dumped in shallow graves with no regrets, asking God, is this a test? Once we stopped, we're forced inside of a ballpark, conventional halls, no water, no food, no place to rest, beckoning for answers and becoming obstreperous, stripped of everything we worked so hard to get, but not accepting our demise. Now look inside of Black Tulsa's eyes. Look inside of Black Tulsa's eyes. Go ahead and look. Don't get lost in lies. For one glimpse inside and you will surely see that we may be down and broken, but in time, we will rise, victorious, vigorously.
You see them niggers running back to Coonville? That one nigger looked like he was trying to win an Olympic medal. Yeah, they came down here with their guns and their baboon chests poked out, and we had to put them in their place. You know, we broke into that armory and took all those guns and ammunition. We're ready for war, Billy.
How many of those niggas do you think we killed?
At least 200 or more.
Yeah, I'd say that's about right. Man, there must have been 5,000 of us God-fearing white men, armed and ready for battle. Man, we were after them like those Germans from the war. I think my son shot that nigger doctor right in his back. He had his arms raised high like the nigger coward he was, and then boom, one shot was all it took.
Yeah, and then our brothers from the National Guard came and helped us burn down their houses. My wife's got a new fur coat now. We got another car.
They didn't deserve that stuff, no way. Me and my boy got so much stuff from Niggertown, we had to send some back to my family in Claremont. And what we didn't take, we burnt to the ground.
Hey, your front page article should have said, "Run, nigger, run."
Well, it actually says it must not be again. Such a district as Niggertown should never be allowed to succeed. It was a cesspool of iniquity and corruption.
Well, you have to admit that there still are a few decent Negroes out there. Like C.R. Gabe, for example. He worked hard at the police station. In fact, his home was burned to the ground, and that was a complete injustice. Or how about that fine Negro surgeon by the name of A.C. Jackson? He was as good a Negro as you could find.
Well, look, I sympathize with the hundreds of Negroes that were innocent. But in that nigger town, there were a lot of bad niggers. Give a nigger dope, booze, and guns, and he thinks he can shoot up the world. And all 4 of those things were found in nigger town. Booze, dope, guns, and bad niggers.
Did you forget that man fella came down to the courthouse armed and ready for war?
Commissioner Atkinson said he knew of the growing agitation in Niggertown, and he told those Negroes that if something had happened, they would be responsible. Now that is first-class conversation, but weak action. Now the bad niggers started it, and the public would like to know why were they not made to feel the full extent of the law? Why were they not arrested?
Well, didn't I read in your paper that the Negro quarters will be converted into an industrial center?
Yeah, the commission had a meeting, and they proposed that the devastated area be made into a new railroad station and white-owned plants and warehouses.
I also saw something about a fire ordinance, number 2156, I think it is. I don't see how the niggers can be able to rebuild under that law at all.
Well, it's my understanding that they have to build their homes out of brick and steel and the like. As a matter of fact, they're also required, if I'm not mistaken, to build the homes at least 2 stories high.
Yes, exactly 2 stories high.
That means no more ugly wooden shacks.
Well, I've also heard that they are, my goodness.
What, that money coming from the state?
Oh, and how about the money that the state is supposed to provide to help them rebuild?
Yeah.
What money?
Too.
Hey, Chet, have you heard of any money?
Not if I say any money.
How about you, Billy? Have you heard of any money?
Not a thing.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, they haven't sent any money.
The only way they could rebuild Niggertown would be to move it further north and away from the city. Mayor Glass had a great point at the meeting. He stated the 2 races being divided by an industrial section will draw a more distinctive line between them, thereby eliminating the intermingling of the lower elements of the 2 races, which in my opinion, they're nothing but evil. And we don't want black faces to be the first impression of the men and women entering our beautiful city.
That is a great point. But I did hear that they were having a meeting with them niggers up in Muskogee for thoughts of retaliation. Now we need to move them as far north as we can, and we have to stay prepared for war.
Yeah. Those niggers would be foolish to wage war with us again, especially after the whooping we gave them the other night.
That's right.
Hey, when's the next meeting? So we can all go down and petition for the complete removal of Niggertown.
Well, the next meeting is the day after tomorrow. We have to stick together on this, brothers. We can't have another nigger town.